The first thing that I thought that you probably didn't know about the NBA was just how valuable or invaluable Larry O'Brien was as commissioner. Not much has been written about Larry O'Brien, who was part of JFK's Irish Mafia. He was the chairman of the DNC for 2 terms. He was a major power broker in national Democratic politics. What was amazing to me was just how much gravitas Larry O'Brien brought to the NBA when he was appointed commissioner. He was somebody who he had to be cajoled into taking the job. He was a big deal, as Pat Williams, the former GM of the 76ers, told me. So for the NBA to have Larry O'Brien, this major political figure, this national personality who's on the cover of Time magazine, lead the NBA, a then floundering league, was tremendously important. The second thing you didn't know about the NBA was just how close the NBA came to not having a television contract, a national television contract. In 1978, the CBS had a handshake agreement with the NBA to televise its games, to renew its national television contract. Unfortunately, there was a change in leadership, and Frank Smith became the new president of CBS Sports, and he wanted nothing to do with the NBA. So how did the NBA get its contract? A young attorney named David Stern had to get in the face of a CBS Sports executive named Neil Pilson, arguing with him to get CBS to renew the contract. In this case, the more feverish head prevailed, and the NBA got a renewed television contract. This was a league back in the 1970s and into the 1980s where youth and creativity reigned. The NBA was all about trying new things. It was about doing something different. That was a philosophy that was brought in place by David Stern, the NBA's commissioner who passed away in 2020. So the NBA was all about taking chances and doing something new because it had nothing to lose. They didn't have tradition. So under David Stern's regime, any idea, no matter how outlandish it seemed, was welcome and usually embraced. The All-Star Game weekend now known as AllStar Weekend, is really a corporate-driven event. It's a place where rappers hang out, movie stars, comedians. It's a big corporate get-together, and that's by design. The NBA wanted something on par with the Super Bowls, something that the NBA could use to have people come in, meet, talk business, and to really spread the gospel of the NBA. And that's where All-Star Game Weekend came into play, and now it's a tremendous event. As Jay Adonde famously remarked, it's now the Black Super Bowl. The importance of Dr. J, Julius Erving. Now, I write a lot about Michael Jordan in this book, and rightfully so. He is the NBA player whose obvious appeal in terms of his game and also his charisma, the fact that he is an empirically good-looking man, that was played a huge role in the NBA's ascension. But without Dr. J, somebody who brought individual style to the mainstream, somebody who was an avatar for what the well-spoken, charismatic, magnetic athlete could be, without Dr. J sort of taking over as the spokesperson for the NBA for a good 5 to 10 years, his presence turned the NBA or helped the NBA become a mainstream marketable sport. And I write a lot about that in this book.